What's up, YouTube? Welcome back. So, I want to talk about the latest wild ass wetback on the loose, and that is Gina Rodriguez. And I don't really know much about Gina Rodriguez. Don't really care to know much about her. I actually got her confused with Michelle Rodriguez. I was like, oh, okay, it's Gina, not Michelle. Okay, my bad. Yeah. But yeah, I wanted to come through and just talk about this wild ass wetback on the loose right quick. And also talk about a bigger conversation about non-black people of color and the use of the N-word, you know. And for me, and probably for a lot of you, this video is probably going to be low-key, a bit like, ABC, 1, 2, 3, do, re, mi, duh. Kind of like just like, well, duh. But nevertheless, I want to come through and say some things. So, all right. So, as we all know, Gina Rodriguez was caught singing the N-word on the Fuji song. And the thing is, she was recording it or either like FaceTiming or whatever, either posted it on social media one way or the other. Either she was doing it live or she pre-recorded the video and posted it. Nevertheless, she said what she said, right? Then I think she apologized like twice. And then some folks wanted to come through and defend her ass. And then some people wanted to come through and like low-key not really go in like they should really go in. For example, like Praz from the Fugees, he was like, well, some people get a pass and some people don't, right? And for me, yeah, maybe that's like a New York thing, maybe, or like a tri-state area thing. And I know in California they do some similar bullshit like that too. That's just some shit I ain't used to. All right, that's just definitely some New York tri-state area fuckery right there, and as well as some California Bay Area fuckery, and maybe Oakland. I don't know. That's what they do over there, and that's what they do up there. Okay. I don't know why black people tend to be on the giving end of a lot of these cultural exchanges and cultural interactions. Notice that. Notice that black people are always on the giving end of maybe not 110%, but a lot tend to be on the giving end of these cultural exchanges, giving up some part of their culture and people taking it and seemingly not really giving something of their own culture to black people, right? When it comes to their own culture and black people, they tend to be very much exclusive, while they want us to be very much inclusive, right? Like even with like rap music and hip hop, it's like, oh, it's for everybody. And it's like, no, not really. It's, for black people, and black people can decide who they want in and who they do not want in, right? And this is something you got to watch out for too. When you start letting people just come in freely, then they're going to start trying to quote unquote move around furniture, right? And I'm doing this as a metaphor, right? Like when you invite guests in your house, they're guests. They don't live there. Therefore, they can't move around the furniture, for a lack of a better phrase. Like they can't really dictate, oh, this goes on in the household. This does not go on in the household. This household will have cable and high-speed internet. This household will run the air conditioner 12 hours a day. Like they can't really do that because they're guests. It's not their home, right? But when you start inviting guests into your home and just letting them run wild and run amok, and then they start to try and dictate what goes on in your home. And you're like, wait a minute, this is my home, not your home. You're a guest in my home. Therefore, you need to fall back and be a guest. And if you can't, then you got to go. And also, it's like even people who low key you may even consider to be like pro black, at least from the tri-state area, tend to be trying to low key defend this shit, right? With like non-black Latinos using, well, yeah, non-black Latinos in particular using the N-word. And I'm going to give an honorable mention to what's that dude name? Um, French Montana. That bum ass towelhead nigga, sand nigga, whatever the fuck you want to call that piece of shit. So that towelhead motherfucker, right? So a shout out to him. Honorable mention to him as well. So a lot of times when, especially we've been seeing this lately, like when these, racist ass, wild ass wetbacks on the loose get caught in some, anti-black shit or get caught saying the N-word, then all of a sudden these motherfuckers want to turn into mighty morphin wetbacks now. Now they want to try and morph into, black or Afro-Latina or Afro-Latino. Right? And for me, I'm like, well, this is the first time I'm really hearing about your African connection, your black connection, your Afro-Latinidad, your Afro-Hispanidad. And this is the first time I'm really hearing about this. So it's a little weird for me. For me, I'm just, getting a side eye because I'm like, well, before you was just talking about Puerto Rican this and Puerto Rican that, Dominican this, Dominican that, Cuban this, Cuban that, Latino, Latina, Latinx. You never attached Afro to that before. You were never saying, oh, I'm an Afro Puerto Rican, I'm a black person from Puerto Rico. I never heard that. Or, oh, I'm an Afro Cuban. Never really heard that, right? Etc., etc., etc. So again, like these mighty morphin wetbacks are on the loose now, and they just trying to change and shapeshift and all this stuff, and just to sidestep accusations of racism and to feed off of black culture, to come through and just take without giving anything back. And then some black people just very much want to defend it and give it a pass. And I'm like, are you niggas that desperate for some non-black approval? You pick me ass motherfuckers, get some damn self-esteem. You can't just go around letting people just call you anything. No, that's not what you're supposed to be doing. This is why folks low-key, part of the reason why they don't respect your ass now. Also, this is why black people don't have much of shit now as well, because you niggas want to keep giving away everything we got and being all inclusive to motherfuckers that don't include us in much of anything, besides when they want to use us for a come up, use us for protest, ride the black wave until they get where they gotta go. Then they kick black folks to the curb, and then they pretend like they never had anything to do with your ass. Then they're trying to kiss up and blend into white supremacy, basically. But yeah, Mighty Morphin Wetbacks seem to be the thing right now. Shit. Go Mighty Morphin Wetbacks. Yeah. Go Mighty Wetbacks. Dun 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 dun. Go Mighty Wetbacks. Do 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 do. Go Mighty Wetbacks. You Mighty Morphin Wetback Rangers. Dun, 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 dun. Then when they transform to be like Puerto Rican, Dominican, Cuban, Mexican, Panamanian. So, yeah, just had to put that in there for a second. So, for me, I'm just like, can we set up some standards and set up some boundaries when it comes to people who are non-black and saying the N-word, and as well as having access to certain parts of our culture? Because as we know by now, these people, when like they never want to speak on any black issues. They never want to speak on our behalf in a positive way. They'll low key try to diss us and speak on our behalf in a negative way. But I'll put it to you like this: these same motherfuckers who saying, these non-black Latinos and non-black people of color who are saying nigga this, nigga that, niggas be extra fat, saying all of this, right? Will these same people say Black Lives Matter? Will Gina Rodriguez say Black Lives Matter? Will Fat Joe say Black Lives Matter with his like what the fuck looking ass? What the fuck is Fat Joe? Like combination of like an elephant, a hippo, a gorilla, a motherfucking marsupial, you know, a monkey that's beige. Yeah. So will Fat Joe ever say Black Lives Matter? And I believe he hasn't. I believe he's actually posted All Lives Matter. But he part of the culture though, right? He went through some nigga shit though, right? But he's saying, oh, all lives matter, right? Will J-Lo and J-Ho say Black Lives Matter? She posted All Lives Matter. I have not seen her post Black Lives Matter. Will Evelyn Lothada say Black Lives Matter? Again, these are questions that need to be thrown out there too, since it's all good in the hood, apparently in the tri-state area, New York, California. Like, oh, we all one, just because you grew up around some black people, you think you black, it don't work like that, you know. Yes, culture is a part of your upbringing and a part of your identity. I will say that culture does play a significant factor, but of course we know that blackness is not just culture. It also is, a biological reality. It's also a familial connection as well, right? A historical connection, right? A political connection, right? Like all these things coming together. So it's not just the cultural connection, because you can be raised around a lot of black people, but that doesn't make you black. Just like some black people are raised around a whole bunch of white people, it doesn't make them white. It just makes them kind of like perhaps culturally white, but I'm pretty sure their experience in society will not mirror that of a white person's experience in society. Let's be real. So as well, we have to stop sharing our plight and our struggles with other groups of people who don't really fuck with us like that. That's as well, like, oh, Latinos go through discrimination too. Yes, Latinos are marginalized. They have suffered discrimination, but the Latino experience and the Black experience, while similar, there's some similarities, I'll say, but there are some major differences though. There are some extremely major differences that factor into this, like the slavery experience, for instance, the Jim Crow experience. And like, well, you weren't around during slavery. You weren't around during Jim Crow. And that's true. But nevertheless, the effects of those institutions still live on to today, and they still affect black people till today. Right? And that's just a connection that they don't really have. They have a connection to their own experience of, oppression or marginalization, but it's not really the same as our experience. And that's okay. But you can't hop in and out of the Black experience when convenient. If you're in it, you got to be in it to win it. You can't do that. And it's like how we criticize biracial people for doing that. It's just the same thing with these Latinos doing that. They hop in and out when it's convenient, when they think they can get a come up, when they think they can benefit, when they want to listen to some bomb ass music, eat some good ass food, you know, hear a nice funny ass story, maybe come through and smash a couple of Black folks even. But that's about all that it boils down to, really. That's about all that really happens, right? They ain't really trying to get the blues. They want the rhythm, but they don't want the blues, right? But as I said before, why do some Black people really want to give inward passes to non-Black people, especially these Latino folks, right? Why? Like, what you getting out of it? Like, again, Pros from the Fugees, right? And ain't he supposed to be like low-key woke? I don't know. I ain't really familiar. I'm just asking. I don't really know them like that. But yeah, he was like, I think on TMZ, low-key, kind of like, not necessarily defending Gina Rodriguez per se, but kind of sort of not. Like, oh, when it comes to certain Latinos, that some can do it, some can't. And then it's like, well, is it like a New York thing? Is it like a Bronx thing? Like, what's exactly the criteria you have to meet in order to be approved to say the N-word as a non-Black person of color? And, FYI, Gina Rodriguez is Puerto Rican. She said that her dad is Afro-Latino. I'm like, where? They love pulling out the Black granddaddy from the basement, goddamn it, when they get in trouble, right? When they get caught up in some fuck shit, then they'll pull out their Black granddaddy that they done locked down in the basement. Goddamn shit. Then Sean Stockman from Boys to Men wanted to come through and defend Gina Rodriguez. I'm like, I really hope you're getting a good paycheck from this. Or either, she letting you hit. One of the two. I hope you're getting something out of this. Because I really just would hate to think that you just cooning it up for just straight up nothing. So yeah, he want to be a dumbass and a coon ass nigga and come through and defend this dumbass wetback hoe. And, just add him to the list, right? I don't think many people were checking for him prior to this anyway. But, now we'll be checking for you, but not in a good way. And then Amara La Negra, old sexy dumbass, want to come through and defend Gina Rodriguez too. And I'm like, I really hope you're getting a paycheck for this. I really hope Gina Rodriguez is trying to put you on and work in some like one of her projects or something. I really hope you're getting something out of this, Amara La Negra, because you came through on the scene talking about colorism and low-key how you are mistreated within you and other, actual Afro-Latinos are treated in the Latin community. And Black folks, especially Black American folks, and especially even more African American women, were supporting Amara La Negra when it came to her, colorism complaints or colorism plight. But I kind of low-key suspected something from Amara La Negra from the beginning. And as well, I reposted that video, just to put it out there, right? And also, Amara La Negra, she was defending Evelyn Lothada too. I think she low-key, she posted like some Black power fists directed towards Evelyn Lothada. Like, really? Black power? Ooh, ooh. I really, Marla Negra, beautiful woman, but I really think she is a Afro Latina bootlicker. All right, like she very much wants approval from non-black Lat Latino Latinx folks or whatever the fuck you're calling them. All right, wetback folks, right? So for me, I'm like, can't trust it. Can't trust it. You know, I think she's just a little too desperate for that approval. Like again with this pick me shit going on, this pick meism, right? This pick meism runs deep in black folks. I don't know where it comes from. I guess maybe just a history of being, extremely oppressed and marginalized and being stigmatized extremely as a group of people to like, oh, stay away from them perhaps, and just wanting somebody to really just love and embrace you, you know. Meanwhile, you won't love and embrace your fellow black sister or brother sitting right next to you. But you'll go all out for this, non-black fuck nigga, fuck bitch, wetback motherfucker, right? And these other non-black motherfuckers too. So I guess I could tell us a bit of a story right quick. Here's a really quick story. I suppose this story may complicate things a little bit. But long story short, years ago I was working at my university's or my alma mater's library, and I had a coworker, and he was Bengali, you know, um, and that is a country in Asia, right? And very dark skinned, like extremely dark skinned, but bone straight hair, right? Like, kind of like that Asian hair texture type look, right? But like extremely dark skin, right? And then, long story short, we were with like it was like me, him, and some other coworkers, and he wound up saying like the N word, and some folks like, and they wasn't really feeling it, like, and it was with black folks, right? And I'm like, you know, for me, I'm like, I don't really feel it when non-blacks, use the N word, right? But then I kind of thought about it a little bit later, like, well, perhaps his experience could be a bit more in line with the black experience, minus the hair texture. But still, like, but still, like, I don't know, you gotta be careful about giving out passes, right? Especially when it's like, well, are you gonna give something from your culture to me? Something of you and where you come from to me, you know? But yeah, I wanted to put that out there right quick. Uh, and also, one more thing to be wary of. This whole people of color, women of color thing that comes up to when it comes to these folks when they say the N word and then they're apologizing. And then sometimes they won't even address black people specifically, even though black people are the ones calling them out. They'll say people of color, women of color, right? They won't say black people, and they sure as hell ain't saying black women, right? That's something to think. That's something to notice too. When people be on that people of color shit and women of color shit, when you know good and well we talking about black folk, that is a major red flag that these people low key ain't really here for you and your black ass. All right, they ain't here for your black ass. All right, they can't even acknowledge you. They can't even say your name. Think about it. If someone can't even say your damn name, is it really? Are they really? Do they really give a fuck about you? Probably not. Right? They are avoiding saying your name because they don't want to really kind of like. In some cases, don't want to be associated with you. In other cases, they want to be very much all inclusive in some situations, politically correct. They don't want to own up to what they did and have to apologize directly to black folks. It's all about people of color because they don't really want to address your ass, because they don't really want to be associated with your ass, and really they don't really think much about you to address you. God damn it. Yeah. This video could be longer, but I'm going to just bring this video to a close. And, I've gone on for long enough. But long story short, if you ain't black, then you don't need to be saying the N-word. No matter if you grew up around black people, no matter if you grew up in New York, no matter if you're the mayor of New York, no matter if you invented New York, no matter if you built the Bay Area, no matter if you founded Oakland, no matter if you prevented California from breaking off into the ocean. It's just not for you, okay? And that's just something that you need to respect, all right? And if you can't respect black folks, then we're going to have to kick your ass up out our house. You can't have people in our house not respecting us. But yeah, how did like some of these people even get a pass? Like Tekashi 6ix9ine, how did he get a pass? I know how Cardi B got a pass, because that's a bit of a different situation. Not saying that I'm giving her a pass, but I'm saying I can see how she was able to slip and slide and Mighty Morph wet back her N-word pass. But like Tekashi 6ix9ine, I'm like, no. And to be fair, people did call out J-Lo when she said it. And I don't think she said it ever since, I don't think. At least not in like public and on record. And Ellen Lozada, she definitely somehow was able to get her pass. I don't know. But yeah, it's just something to really think about though, y'all. And just really, it don't really require really that much thought and debate when it comes to me. I think this is a pretty cut and dry situation, cut and dry case. If you ain't black, if you don't identify as black as your primary racial identity, right? If you do not have a biological connection to blackness as well as a cultural connection, no. If you aren't politically connected to black people, no. If you aren't down for black people, and also if you are down for black people, why would you want to offend them? Like if you really are like, I'm down for my black brothers and sisters, I love them, they're my people, that's what's up, even though I'm not black, why would you want to offend a group of people that you feel are your people? That's something to think about too. And I just think that, it's like some fair weather friend type shit. They here for the good times, but they ain't really. When the rain comes, they on to the next, destination. All right. So I said all I have to say. Thanks for watching. Let me know what y'all think in the comment section. And to the next video, adios and goodbye for now.